Why are you laughing? What's up, guys? Welcome to another amazing episode of the Podcast. I'm your host, the Kiss Bandit. Welcome to another amazing episode. I have a very special guest who's joining me today. And, I can't wait to share her story, her journey, the regular conversations that we have on the podcast. So, I'll let her introduce herself and we'll take it from there. You know the drill. So let the people know your name and what you do.
Hello guys, hi. I'm so honored to be here today. My name is Monna Moraa, but my official name is Evelyn Moraa. Monna is just a nickname that stuck, and we just roll with it. I run an events company whereby we create and organize events that shape conversations among the youth, and we use these events to give creatives a platform to showcase their products and services. So the name of the firm is Swazuri Events. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter under the same name, Swazuri Events. I am also a wine blogger known as Wine and Dine Kenya. And maybe we'll share more about that later. And I'm a moderator.
What's that?
I moderate talks. I also give talks about the future of work. What else do I do?
This is interesting. Should we start with the future of work?
I think we could actually. And maybe last but not least, there's something else I'm not saying. I'm just a serial...
A wife?
Oh no, not yet.
Okay, so guys, the DMs are open. I mean, that was just asking for my guests. So guys, the drill.
But also, I'm just a serial businesswoman. Just kidogo businesses here and there.
That sounds like a lot that you have juggling on like your plate. And I think any of these lazy guys who are out here will be very lucky to have a woman like that.
No, but we don't keep men. We don't keep men. Kila mtu ajitafutie yake.
Umesikia hiyo? So you don't believe in that thing of like, ati when, you're making your money, making my money, and then it's like my money is our money and your money is your money.
That is there.
Oh, shit.
Even if I make my own money, I still have to utilize your money. It's sexy when a man provides for that.
That's true, right?
It's not because I don't have the money, but because it shows that he's stepping up to the plate, that I'm the man.
Where do you get the drive to do all those things? Because in this day and age, it seems like so many people are used to shortcuts, kind of. I don't know whether you get where I'm going with this social media day and age.
That's very true. For me, I want to believe is the vision I have for myself. I'm a pretty ambitious young lady, and I truly and honestly believe that for you to enjoy life without restrictions and boundaries, you have to be able to have a say, and that means when you have your own money, you control the way you live.
Saying if you have a man, he'll control the way you...
Not really, but again, we're talking about empowerment and all that. So,
and actually, one of your programs that you advocate for and run about, is it girl-child empowerment?
Yes. So under my firm, we have an event known as Girl Power Connect, which started as Girl-Child Empowerment Forum. The whole idea behind it was what you were saying about social media and shortcuts and everything. So basically, I wanted to start a forum whereby young people can come together, be inspired and motivated by fellow young people to pursue their talent, passion, dreams, just for us to believe that right now we're toiling or we're tilling the land and everything, but eventually we're going to get there. So seeing a fellow young person start their own company, start their own business, and they get to do what they are doing best, it might not be much They might not be able to travel to Greece yet or anything, but the beauty,
How we would love that.
all of
Yeah.
us would love that.
Yeah.
But the beauty is
Mhm.
there are things that life can teach you when you're building your career, when you're
True.
building your business, that you cannot learn anywhere else.
Mm.
And so the shortcut theory and everything, it's there. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. Yeah, life is a choice.
Yeah.
And there are those who prefer to live that way. It's okay.
Yeah.
But to those who honestly want to make something out of themselves by pursuing something burning inside them, that I want maybe to start a podcast, how do I go about it? So for us, we wanted to bring fellow young people who are actually doing amazing stuff and get to share with us the challenges, the lessons, the beauty, the tears of what it means to start something from the bottom in this day and age and see it grow all the way up.
What made, in fact, since before we even go deep into just a little bit of more background, what made you interested in just, reaching out to the podcast? Because I always do ask that question so that, even for me, so that I can just understand if I'm doing something right
Yeah.
or, is it connecting to people? But what made you be interested in just my platform and what I'm doing?
I'd say,
And how did you come across it, by the way?
I'd say, I came across it when you interviewed Melissa. I told you, we've worked with her in the wine space.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw.
Did you even say that you do wine blog? Oh, yes, you
I
did in your
did.
intro.
I
Yes,
did,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And I'm at a point whereby I want to network with people who are in the content space. I find content creation so interesting yet so tricky or difficult because the consistency needed to...
It's tricky. Yeah.
It's hard because sometimes we get to enjoy blogs from people or YouTube videos consistently, and you think that just wake up and post it. Hell no. It takes a lot of time, effort, and so even for me, wanting to see the equipment you use to actually create an amazing podcast, what went through your mind to even want
to do something like it. Yeah.
And I'm pretty humbled. Rather, you've challenged me. We were talking about it previously on why you're doing this as well.
Yeah.
And making new networks, you never know.
I'm actually sending you a list of just everything that I have here.
Hello,
and then
yeah.
you can decide, this is what I need, or this is what there's a website called Kit, and with this you can just put, because normally a lot of people keep asking questions to do with gear and everything, and for me I just compiled everything together, and I think there you go, and there you have it, a list of everything for that I own, and there's also a podcast section, so you can just choose whichever.
Guys, if you haven't been to this set, oh my goodness, you should. It's pretty impressive. He's really dedicated a lot to have this happening, and congratulations. This is no joke. This is no joke. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's jump into just a little backstory before we come back to what you actually do.
Yes.
Because like I said, the podcast is about health. Or do you know about the 4 pillars of life? Let's start with that.
No.
No? So you just wake up in the morning, you have no guidance whatsoever?
My vision board drives me every day.
Oh. Okay,
That's
but the 4 pillars of life are standard for everybody.
Enlighten me,
which
please.
is health, wealth, and then, can you help me with one?
No.
Love and happiness.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That is so good. Health, wealth, happiness, and love.
Yeah. And everybody has a different story. If you pick any of the 4, anybody has a different story, but we can all relate because we all go through the same. What we're chasing to do for a living. We want success, to be successful in what we're pursuing.
Yeah. Do you want happiness?
Happiness.
Are you going after love?
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Health, the one thing that we all just waking up in the morning, being able to live, breathe, And take care of yourself. I'm sure you've seen her somewhere. Haven't?
Not yet.
That's Miss World Kenya runners-up.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know I used to be a model back in high school?
What?
Sai tumezeeka.
Are you going to talk about that story? Okay,
Maybe.
so let's go back to just a little bit of a backstory, because now you know about what the podcast is all about. What really did you want to be when you're growing up? Because I kind of like ask about that, because we all kind of have like those childhood like jobs that we were looking at, like this is what I just want, and then maybe they changed, maybe they remained the same, but we all had like, I mean,
mine was like a total shift. Naomba uniruhusu niongee Kiswahili at some point because it might happen. It's a mix.
Sawa, mix it. Just know that I have a very, I don't know, have you gone through my podcast? The videos?
Some of them.
Have you gone through the videos?
Not all, some.
But you've seen how diverse it is.
Yeah.
At times, I know the only person we did like sharing the whole podcast, it was Rapture the scientist.
I'm sure hapo ningefloat
and
on
him, it's just because he hosts a radio show, Shen, and he's been doing it for so long. Paka he was like, hey bro, mimi hapa itabidi tu tuelewane. And then for me, I'm always saying that I want to put subtitles on my videos because I'm the one who's doing the whole production.
Yeah.
So where you can, it's all good. Those who don't understand Swahili, I mean, hey, this is an opportunity to actually contact any one of us and bring that conversation to life. We'll still translate it to you.
So I'm from Mombasa.
Yeah. That where you grew up?
Yeah. Like that's where I lived for the 18 years, the first 18 years of my life. Yeah. That's a 17.
Oh, where did you get this work ethic? Rumor has it. Rumor has
it.
Yeah, I'll be kind. I'll trade lightly with my words. Rumor has it, like, you know, a lot of women from Mombasa, they just don't like working.
Not really, but that's where my story comes in. So I had a pretty decent childhood growing up.
Yeah.
And high school pia Mombasa. So the first time nilikuja Nairobi like to stay for like a while was when I was joining campus. And by that time I came to JKUAT Karen.
Yeah.
Na hapo it was sort of like a culture shock. Kwanza the cold. It was so cold.
Yeah, because Mombasa is so humid. Everything is just...
And then for us, speaking English was not like mandatory like all the time. So yes, we could speak English, lakini haikuwa lazima. Tulikuwa sawa tu Kiswahili.
Yeah.
So when I came here and the first day in class, I think, so during conversations with people, mi nilikuwa sawa kuongea Kiswahili. Till guys realized, you from Coast. So now it became like, I don't know if to say, how do you call someone who's like a center of attraction? Because now all they wanted me to do is speak in Swa.
Yeah, because that Kaswahili always has that
so sahi ko diluted kidogo, but that time it was pretty solid. Yeah. And anyway, long story short, the culture shock of how guys move here, the matatu system.
Mombasa is slow.
Yeah, then here guys are fast.
Never in a hurry.
I had a pretty rough day. Kwanza, the first day getting to school, I don't know. And I made, I think, 2 friends, and I wanted to know the way around Nairobi. So with them, I got to hear more about Nairobi, how it is, learn a few things here and there. Yeah. But also, while I was in school, the environment we're exposed to, it's current, for crying out loud, and that was like years ago. And now where the school is, we could see proper structures, proper cars. Like ndio unaweza kuwa uko na dreams na kila kitu, but wait till you see people living the dream.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom.
It's completely different.
Yeah, my mom akini letter for the first time. There's one thing she said that if I had much, ungeenda hata States. But with what we can give you at this point,
This is it.
you will go to JKUAT ndio, but not any other JKUAT. Go to JKUAT Karen. And when you go there, see how people live, see how people are doing their things, be inspired. So initially ndio I was laid back nini, but when I came and saw how people move huku, in town everyone is fast.
Everyone is
like hata kutembea.
Mombasa guys are so chilled.
So your adaptation took a minute. And I could see, like, even now from the classmates we had, there are people who had businesses, people who were selling things here and there, people who've identified maybe their talents, like graphic designers, nini. So people are making things happen.
Yeah.
Nikasema, okay, this is interesting. But also at the same time, nikaona kuwa kuna wasichana wenye wako laid back sasa. The shortcuts culture is happening a lot.
Yeah.
So
ni wenye umetoka Mombasa awali.
Nimekwambia tread carefully.
Yeah.
Usitake nianze.
So,
and so at the end of it all, nika realize huku there's so much opportunity yenye Mombasa hakuna.
True.
Mimi growing up I wanted to be an engineer. I still want to be an engineer. I don't know. But anyway, nikasomea IT. I'm good in IT. I don't practice it now, but I'm pretty conversant with the technology world. And hizo dreams zangu, I think silini skuma sana. Nikitaka kujua, I wanted more for myself. So even if singepata kuwa, because I wanted to be a mechanical engineer.
What?
Yeah, just like my dad. But then KCSE was a bitch. Tukajipata mali tunaweza angukia was BBIT, which was a cool thing. Then I was like, okay,
why not?
I'm good in math, I can do those things, it's fine. But sasa nilikuwa nikiangalia nyumbani where I grew up. Most girls ended up getting married by the time tunamaliza form 4.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Ama unapata wasichana wanapata watoto. Not to mean it's wrong, it's not. It's okay. Manake it's a gift from God kuweza kubeba kiumbe ndani yako.
You get pregnant, yeah.
No, but then at the end of the day,
is that the message you're preaching?
No, it's
okay.
It's not a choice. It's not a choice. Get actress and a preach message here waiting. How more young girls need to learn to wait. Ndiyo inakaa cool kuwa young mom, but it's a lot.
Really hard.
It's hard. It's hard. People don't say the truth.
And the kid, Pia, you might just don't think about yourself. I want to do this early so that I can go to the... What about your child? Will they be in a
safe space,
safe
environment?
Will the dad be around as well? And all those things?
Because hakuna mtu anapenda kuwa single mom, but anything can happen. Anything can happen squeezy.
Yeah.
And so, mimi nikaona kuwa most girls where we were coming from, walikuwa maisha inaishia tu hapo high school. After high school ndo hivyo.
That's it, yeah.
So hata discussion ya university nini hakuna. So even if you go to university, people will ask, wewe kwani hutaki kuolewa?
What?
Like, why are you going to university? So even parents would ask, sasa mtaani.
Yeah, like other parents are asking, like even probably your mom, hey, kwani?
No, my mom was like...
Oh, how she was like,
To my parents, that was always like the rule. Do not embarrass us in the estate. Where I grew up, it's pretty small. Like, everyone knows everyone.
Everyone's business.
Yeah.
So it's just... so basically they were just saying, please, just don't, just, you know.
So even mingling with people where we grew up was an issue because mtu yote anaonekana kuwa like bad character. Hata usionekane ukiongea na yeye. Enter university, please.
It's better, just be out there. Yeah.
And so for me, nikataka kujua kwa nini most girls, yani maisha yao ni kama inaishia hapo. Don't they want to be more? Nika realize kuwa ndio you might want to be more, lakini what is it called, exposure.
That's all you know.
Yeah. Hapo mtaani, all you know is your neighbor has a kid, married, maybe a wealthy husband who now you have to just to sit and cook.
And even that's when they were asking you like, yo, kwani hutaki kuolewa?
Yeah.
It's the only thing they know. They don't know anything else.
For sure. So nikakuja kuona kuwa it's not, si kupenda kwao, manake they've not seen anything else. They've not seen anything better. So maybe if we expose more girls to to different lives, exposure to different things in life, they might expand their imagination. Not to mean ni vibaya kuwa mzazi mapema, but then if you have dreams and goals and ambitions,
just be aware there's so many other things as well. Just
there's
to be
more
aware.
to life. There's more to life. And I feel like hiyo ikaningia nikajua mimi I wanted more for myself. And in me wanting more, first things first, I had to perform in university.
Yeah.
I had to make sure I was good because I know I'm no failure and I'm a smart girl. So I knew I had to pass. Whether I was going to end up doing an IT job or not, I had to pass.
Yeah.
For myself and for my parents, because sacrificing a lot to the extent people in the neighborhood say, watoto wa so and so, watoto wako na adabu, wamesoma, hawana maneno mengi, because I come from a family of girls. We are 5 girls.
What?
Only, no boys, no nothing.
That's pressure.
Kwa hivyo, nikasoma, nikapita. So when I got employed, I think niliangukia tu sitasema wrong job. Ilikuwa tu ile kazi, manake ilitokezea immediately after nime graduate.
What was the job?
Some accounts thing.
Some accounts. You don't even want to remember. Was it bad?
It's not bad, but it was toxic. It was a toxic working environment.
Those are the worst.
You know, and now nime graduate July. Nikapatana na mtu namjua August. Kuongea tu town hapo akaniambia go talk to so and so.
No job.
I went and it was an interview. And and this is the funny story. I didn't know I was going in for an interview. I knew go see so and so, so utaambiwa what it's about and things like that. Me going, there's an interview happening. Nikawambia, and there were 2 men in that boardroom.
Yeah.
Are they 2 or 3? Nikawambia, you'll have to excuse me, but I know nothing about you guys. All I know is I was asked to come see so and so.
Yeah.
I give out my papers and that's it.
Yeah.
Wakaniambia, how long have you been seated there? And you've had, you have a smartphone. Like that was my first experience in the real world. Like, okay, so kumbe you're supposed to Google ukuwe tu rada, but I was like, I had no idea I was coming for an interview. So one of them chased me and said, if it were up to me, I wouldn't have you back here. Lakini, because umetumwa na so and so, go prepare, come for an interview tomorrow morning. Oh my God, I went and studied like it was an exam. Nikaelewa everything, got into the workplace. But then now the toxicity was happening with the story at targets, deadlines, reports, vitu kama hizo. It was a lot to the extent unawaka hadi Saturday.
You're just not happy even doing that job that you thought you wanted. Because
you know, to my parents, they were like, imagine wangapi hawana kazi. Wewe ushapata kazi immediately.
Yeah, immediately. They always like vumilia.
Watu huanza hivyo. Watu huanza hivyo wakipanda, find your way around it.
Imagine at times it's not.
I used to cry. I remember the first month, I think I cried every night. And I used to go to church every evening,
and
praying for grace.
Praying
for grace, because now I had bills to take care of and things like that. I was like,
you can't even quit because now the
responsibility.
Yeah.
And so while there, I started watching a lot of online international content during my free time. And I got an idea of an event because I love fashion shows and things like that. Maybe one thing I didn't mention, I was a model back in high school. I won a title back in the days.
Back in the days.
And so I had an idea of a fashion event. And
it's in line with something that you actually...
Something I like, but something totally different, because I feel like, okay, as much as I loved fashion, I always wanted to be a model. Up to now, like, it's something I wish I could do. I just don't think...
But you can, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, it's not, because you don't have to do like the ones that, you know, are for the young people, but there's so many other things.
For old people?
No, listen, no, that's not what I'm saying. Listen, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's so many other parts in editorial that you can do. Maybe even if it's commercial, just to give you that satisfaction. Not in competing or doing any, no, but just to give you that satisfaction. And listen, this world right now, the digital platform, there are some people who like still get praised and you'll see and you're like, why? So you can just create that space for yourself. We're talking about like being positive here, girl child, dreams. So you can't talk like that if you're supposed to be the prime example of.
And so I thought of the idea and it felt so brilliant. I was like, I swear this is the fashion event of fashion events. Hakuna kama hiyo.
Yeah.
And I have to do it. Once I put my mind on something,
Yeah.
I have to tick it and say whether it works out or not,
You have to
nilifanya.
follow through.
I went looking for a venue, and so during my, not even free time, during my office hours, because I was so frustrated, I was Googling venues in Nairobi, fashion people in Nairobi, because now I didn't know anyone. And I remember my supervisor would say things like, write me emails, why are you always Googling things instead of working, blah, 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 because where I was seated, they could see what I was doing.
I've gone through that a lot.
And so I remember, like on Saturdays, I would walk around, try to see what's happening, spaces available, and it was extreme. Like the minimum amount you could get was like 100K. Yes, I was employed, but I was not about to spare my 100K on a venue.
Yeah.
And
that's venue minus other expenses that come with an event.
And my salary was pretty good for someone who's just starting out.
How much was it?
There's a nini.
Because I always, if you're comfortable asking, because of course you're in a different space right now, but you see, for a lot of young people don't know these things. So when they're finishing, most of them, they're finishing graduation gown. They think they're starting off with a salary of at least 120, going to 150, and then by the end of the year, they're at 200K. That's what kids think. That's what they think legit.
Are they aware what percent of Kenyans earn over 100K?
But the thing is, they don't know. I don't think these kids who are finishing and graduating right now know. And not even that, they don't even know that their jobs are not there even.
Yeah, and you might land on a job that's not something you studied for at all.
And you might hate it, first of all, and at times it's just to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And that takes me to that thing I was telling you, like even interns now, it's hard to work with them because they just assume everything is going to be all butterflies and bubbles once they finish graduation.
What's the age of the interns you work with? I feel like that's Generation Z.
Really?
I told you I give talks about future of work, and Generation Z is an interesting...
Generation Z is from
the year 2000, if I'm not wrong.
So if they're in uni right now, they'd be second or third?
That's Generation Z.
Oh, that's them, right?
Second years, first years, third years, kwenda chini.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe as we proceed from where I was, nikataka kufanya a fashion event, and I knew I had to make my way in it. So luckily I got to know that Safaricom did support creatives, and depending on your proposal, they could give you space to do an event in their spaces and things like that.
For free.
And I remember I wrote emails for 6 months without them being answered. Because I wrote the first email, hi, blah, 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 and I sent a proposal, but then there was no response. So now my work became writing follow-up emails.
You do? Oh, so, and this you're just doing it, you're chasing your own dream still alone.
Yeah, and by then I was employed. So every month or after like 3 weeks, I would put a reminder to go back and see. They've not responded. Hi, so I sent an email. Follow up. Yeah, the determination, because I knew I had only one shot at that venue. I'm telling you, like, I remember after, I think 6 months, it was like after a while, one day I saw an email from them.
Like,
hi, Evelyn. What proposal are you talking about? We can't seem to find it. Please send it to this.
Reattach it to...
Yeah. And I was like, what? Did they just respond to my email? What? With no connection, no nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, my time is coming.
And don't so many people give up, of course, when they don't get responses and anything?
I'm telling you, when you know maybe that one door is what you wanted for that particular project or phase in your life, that's all you got. Yeah. What other option do you have? That's the only one.
That's the only
one. And I remember that time, supervisor wangu bado akawa mtiaji. And I don't know, I'll send him a link so that he can listen to this, because I even told him when I quit straight to his face, the reason I quit my job.
You told him?
Yes. And so I remember.
I also had a bad supervisor though.
One day I think he just sent me an email with the people copied. I'm thinking, you sit directly kando yangu.
Yeah.
If you wanted to correct me, ungeniambia. Like, I'm just there.
Oh, like, painting a bad picture of you and Nini and...
I was like, I've had it.
Oh, those CC. Kwanza you always like...
Tena I'm telling you, ata kuficha BCC, CC.
Yeah, BCC of course. At
BCC
least,
unajua singejua how many. Yeah. I could see up to the CEO. Pap, nikasema, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I said what? Safaricom has responded to my email.
Yeah.
This nigga is giving me a hard time at work.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Mbaya. I said, fuck it. I wrote my resignation email there and then.
Really?
The HR called me. I went in and told him, you know what? I really appreciate the time I've been here. I've been here for 9 months.
Yeah.
But for now, let me just step out. I feel like I'm locked up and there are many things I want to do, and the time I'm able to do them, I'm here.
Yeah.
So sina time ya kuzifuatilizia. Kwa hivyo acha nichukue hii risk. I just step out. If it works out, sawa. Okay. If it doesn't, who knows?
Yeah.
See, we can always come back.
Can always try again.
Akasema sure. And now that my supervisor is telling me like, akaona kuwa manake nilimkopi kwa hiyo resignation email. Hata kuniongelesha ni nini, mimi nikaambia, when you leave hautapata ile, I think 1 month, I think salary. That kind of thing. I was like, it's okay, just keep it.
Why? And you didn't want it.
No,
you just
I was
didn't
just
want that.
tired. Because I was like, I feel like I'm so young and I don't have responsibilities, and as much as I appreciate this job,
that's when you can
it
take
had
your
gotten
risks.
to a point I was crying every morning.
And
like,
when you wake up with your mind just messed up like that,
I was like, enough is enough. Let me tell you, I will do work. Nilikuwa nasikia alarm imelia hivi 5:30.
Stress.
Nasema, God,
I have to go
is
here.
it another I barely slept. I have barely slept. Nimefika home late. It's already morning.
Yep.
So like that had happened for like 3 weeks. I was just tired.
Yeah.
So me nikaquit kazi hivyo. I found a young lady who used to be my daughter in high school, and she was now in the modeling scene, and she still is for billboards and all that. And I was like, that's the person to talk to. That's the person who's in the game. I know the business side. She knows the fashion side.
Oh yeah.
And we came together, put up the event. Do you know, we were charging 1,500. 110 people came because Safaricom has statistics.
Yeah.
Before Le Band was Le Band played.
They played in your gig.
Le Band played. Anita Nderu was my MC.
And this was your first event?
This was my first event.
Did you at least have Papa Jones? Or Papa Jones was not yet there?
I didn't even know him.
That
was 2016. Sikuwa namjua.
Okay.
Sikuwa namjua. Maybe he was in the scene, but sikuwa namjua.
Okay.
And the event was featured on Standard, a full spread ya Pulse. Fashion, a fashion watch ile ya Citizen.
Yeah.
People Daily, Grapevine. And I remember my parents saw hiyo event ikiwa featured kwa magazeti na some other newspapers zime close by now. And they were like, so kumbe this can turn into something. And I remember telling my partner that time, Nora, if this event works out. It was hectic, by the way. I had no experience in events, but I was like, we're going to do this. Nikambia, Nora, if
you have nothing to lose at that point. You've already left everything else. You're like, okay, this has to.
Yani, sijate your spirit ilitoka wapi. Nikambia, Nora, if this event works out, I'm going to start an events company. And the event turned out so beautiful. I remember we were counting money, like,
what?
Like after the event.
Yeah.
Like sorting out what needs to be paid,
Of course, yeah.
And we had money to pay everyone.
Yeah.
Store 66 was a vendor at my event.
What?
We had money to pay everyone.
This is not something that you had even visualized, but you're just
Mimi
chasing, you're
kwanaenda
trying.
with the flow.
Yeah.
And I told God,
Yeah.
like, now that nimeona I'm able to put up an event, na sioni kama ni kitu ngumu, manake once the concept is out and you put it out there, wanaotaka kuja watakuja. Unaona? I want to do something for the girls. With the shortcut thingy that was happening by then, but then the name of the event was Fashion Bloggers Runway Show. Back in the day, FBRS. Nimefanya editions 3 by now.
Yeah.
And nikataka kudo something for the young girls. And I remember nika come up na hiyo Girl Child Empowerment Forum. So I pitched it to Safaricom and they were okay to come on board. Did one in November, was so scared. Hiyo event nilikuwa na charge 1500 ya fashion. Hii nilicharge 200 bob. Papa, because I was like, what if no one showed up?
Oh, you are that hesitant?
Because you see it's a different concept.
Yeah. Something completely.
It's a talk thing.
Yeah.
You know, watu wanaweza boeka. Alafu. So people did come. I think like 50.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so they showed up.
At least. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, sasa, my stage fright was on another level. Siku hata naweza kuongea mbele ya watu. Right now I can talk.
Yeah.
I will tremble. So I'm like, what am I saying? Who am I to even stand in front of these people?
You're the only person to do it.
And I'm the only person to do it.
Yeah.
We had so many mistakes na kila kitu, lakini now that was the start of Swazuri events. Registered the company and decided to focus on shaping conversations among the youth. So Girl Child event ikakuja ikagrow ikakuwa, nikaona jina imekuwa too long. Nikaita Girl Power Forum. So kwa Girl Power Forum tukakuwa na Girl Power Breakfast Hangout na Girl Power Forum. So breakfast hangout ni small intimate ya like 20 people maximum, but kila mtu anapata chance ya kushare. So tunaongea about a certain topic, but everyone who is present ana participate.
Give something, just talk about something.
Why you are here. Maybe we are talking about money or whatever. So for you, why did you feel it was important to kuja hapo na huyo speaker mwenye tumemwinvite? Was it because you feel there's something they will tell you about your business or something? So it was like a coaching session, but in a more relaxed setup. Chilled. And we actually used to do them at Art Cafe, Oval.
What?
And then the forum, we did them at Safaricom continuously.
So Art Cafe does some good stuff out here.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and the forum tukafanya consistently hadi celebrate the 10th edition of Girl Power Forum in last year was 2019, in 2018 August. And it was a serious celebration because we had Uva Wines come sponsor, we had wines flowing, we had Art Cafe give us cake, we had magnetic pictures give out, magnetic. So they do, actually this is like free shout out to them because
I mean, they made it work for you.
They made it work for me in a way that I had not envisioned because now, especially for the magnetic thing, they take an image of you here, then they have a printer which prints them out in a way that it's magnetic, so you just take them immediately, go stick on your fridge.
Oh, those two nini. Oh, so if you're leaving the event, you have your knees, you can go and
on your fridge with Girl Power Forum, Swazuri events, and the dates and things like that. And it was such a humbling moment for me, manake as much as nilikuwa nafanya hizo event.
I think you'll help me with my proposals.
Bora udilipe.
Hey, listen, we can work something out. We can
work something out, by the way.
Listen, listen, we can work something out.
Aina shida. Maybe I'm open. We can definitely work something out.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you see the whole purpose of the podcast when you're asking me like, why? Because there's so much more to it. There's so much more to it. Yeah, and even this conversation, people are learning from this.
True. And so I remember your 10th forum, tukicelebrate, tukikata keki, wine ilikuwa nyingi hadi haikuisha. Shout out to Uva Wines. I remember the lady wa Safaricom alikuja akaniambia, Eva, this is great. Do you remember when you started?
What?
And look where you are now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I feel like that's the last edition I ever did for the forum. Like I haven't worked for a while.
Yeah.
And like kuna other events tumefanya in between, but the biggest one that to me was very dear is the Girl Power movement, because I believe ndio tunaongea equality, empowerment, lakini with all the information, media, technology, kila kitu, wasichana ndio bado wako kwa disadvantage. They still fall short to vitu kama hizo shortcuts. Unaona? Unapata kwa ndio we are in the urban areas, but then social media is ruining our minds to the extent we feel like we are not good enough.
Listen, you come from Mombasa. I don't even want to start with Mombasa because I'm just like, I've been talking about like just don't forget your chain of thought. So I've always been talking about like just teenage pregnancies in Kilifi County, which are like
it's the worst.
Like over 14,000 or something. Just crazy numbers. And sex tourism.
For as little as 50 bob.
Yeah, those are the
50
things.
shillings.
And I mean, I was talking about it like on the podcast, and I was even planning with some people like, at the end of the year, I'd want to do this and that and this, just to give
I'd
back
like to come on board.
Listen, of course they bailed out. See, like I'm telling you. So I was just left alone. I'm like, okay, now where do I even start? But you see, just from that day, I've met so many people, so many conversations. Even if I was to do something, I would do it slightly differently. And when I went there, because I was talking about it because of my research findings and everything, and I did go there, and I was just like, oh my God, how can these girls be helped? Because I was just like, it is so bad.
And you know what's sad?
It is so bad that it's normal for what's happening. And like you said again, that's the only thing they know. So you can't look at someone and say like, they should have done this. That's the only thing they know. Imagine that's the only thing you know. So even when you're doing it, this is what you're supposed to do, and you're happy and you're proud, and you don't see beyond that.
You don't see beyond that.
Yeah.
Manake, unajua sometimes sasa sisi, the fact that we have social media, we can go on Instagram every day.
Yeah.
Get to see Miss World, get to see Janet Mbugua, get to see This Is Us living the life that they're living now.
Yeah, people are flying.
And it's very good. But then now you see, wow, they have put in the years, they've put in the time, they've put in the effort, the consistency.
The approvals that have to be done here and there.
Ni watu wako na so much history ndo wafike mahali wamefika leo. But then now you see for us, the younger, some young girls. Majority. Hawataona hivyo. Wataona kuwa they want that life now. And this is not to bash anyone, but the truth be told, hii maisha ni ngazi. Hii maisha ni ngazi. At the end of the day, you climb pole pole. Yeah. So depending on where you want to go, every day you put in work to get you to your destination. Talking about Kilifi, me what I feel sad about. Sijui kwa nini Kilifi, to me, sahi ndo ni kama people are discovering it, especially about the beaches. Unaona? And to me, that's a place that can be far worth much more, that needs more development. It's beautiful, but with the least development. Hakuna kitu.
Yeah, it's just like tropical. You just see green.
It's like you're just in a different...
The marine parks. I mean, it's...
So you can imagine if an
investment is just done there.
Even in terms of schools. Just give them... Any shule, manake when you go there and see the type of schools the girls have to be in, it's hard that they have an MCA, they have are they called governors and all that, women reps, and people are crying for the bare minimum. And so
makes no sense.
And so to those girls, that's all they see.
Yep.
That's all they see in their neighbor, amepata mtoto.
With some old white guy.
Yeah. And I worked with Nia Yangu KE. It's an organization, actually. They tengeneza pads, sanitary towels, but affordable sanitary towels, as little as 50 bob. And trust you me, I have used them as a lady. No offense to always, but they are better. They have no nylon.
Are you serious?
They have no nylon. Manake hata during the menstruation day last year, we went to give out some sanitary towels. There was the national government event in Kajiado County at some place huko, and we got to try out to give out the sanitary towels to women there, and I also got a chance to try them out, and honestly speaking, they are good. And now they have set camp, they have a base in Kilifi, whereby to them they have done the proper research. the proper research of the girls, why they live the way they live, na stories of teenage pregnancies. So maybe this is an interesting thing guys cannot. Can you imagine the people who make the girls pregnant ni watu tu wa mtaani?
Because the thing is, these were like super underage girls.
Exactly.
And I was like,
na unajua ni kwa nini?
They're not sleeping with their age mates.
Na unajua ni kwa nini? It
Yeah.
starts mostly from the boda riders and stuff. Manake, they see these girls walk to school every day.
Yeah.
And this is fact that when you read the reports they have, that's the situation on the ground.
Yeah.
They see these girls walk to school every day. And they know they miss school because they can't afford a sanitary towel. So a boda rider approaches a girl and tells her atampea lift to school maybe for the next week, badala awe akitembea kusukwa ile, yani mwanamume anatupa lugha.
Mi sijui kama unasema. I'll not touch that and say like, yes, I know.
And so,
but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And
you know, these girls are so... You can imagine in that environment.
Huwezi kata hiyo lift. So unaanza na kukubali hiyo lift. So by the time huyo mwanamume anakuja na kukwambia, si nimekuwa nikikupa hiyo lift hata mimi unipe kitu. You feel like you're obliged to pay back
it's
because
the least
you can do.
Yeah.
And because maybe you don't know better.
You're young.
You're naive. You feel like this guy cares so much about you.
And give me more lifts.
Yeah. So now I don't have to walk to school.
Yeah, if I need to go somewhere, I don't need to.
Let me tell you, it's sad. It's very sad, but I'm so proud of the organizations or even individuals who are coming up with solutions to such problems, either through donating sanitary towels or even going to have sessions with the girls so that they just get to know more.
I know I want to do something with my podcast, but I'm not sure what yet. But definitely, if you're game...
If we partner on something, I can tell you something we do together.
Let's do something.
Let's do something together.
Listen, see, why I was telling you it's important, you have to be here at the podcast, and you're like, I'm not sure whether I'll make it on. I'm like, no, listen.
I'm
it's
so
really
glad.
important. Yeah. But you see, it's just because of these small things. Okay, you're saying, I don't want to break your chain of thought, because I also don't want us to... actually, time is... No, we are not yet running out of time. We still have time. Where did you leave off, first of all, before we diverted to
Kilifi?
No, you were saying like how the Girl Child project was so important to you, even though you still...
It's so humbling because I have met girls who come to the session. Some will even tell me, I can't even afford to pay the 500 to come. And to me, it's not about the 500. It's the bigger picture of impacting a life.
Yeah.
You get? And I'll tell her, just come.
Come through.
Just come. Do you have transport? Just come.
Come.
You know, because at the end of the day, I know how beneficial it is for them to hear that story, to learn from that person. And I don't take it for granted that anyone would spare their time to show up to my event.
True.
Ndio, we've had, let's say, shortcomings here and there, manake events hazikosi ma issues here and there, but people who've showed up to my events, I don't even know if I've said this enough. Like, I am really grateful because... No offense, but I'm not anyone. Like, I'm just some girl with a dream or a vision.
No, people gravitate towards energy. People can tell.
At
times people like pretend like they don't see potential or they don't see like how somebody... Because you're designed very differently. There's a way somebody can start talking to you and they can talk to like they're saying like another girl. And they would know, like, okay, where's the mind frame?
Yeah.
This person is more...
Ukweli.
Yeah, people can see, people can read that.
And so for me, I really want... This 2020, I was about to say 2019. This 2020, I really want to go back and focus more intensively in the Girl Power Initiative.
Should.
Because aside from events, over time, and that's the beauty... Nimekuja kulearn vitu zenye you have to be in such spaces ama in certain areas for you to know how you can improve.
Because if you're not there, it's hard. That's now my situation.
True. Because it takes experience.
We talk,
It takes experience kujua vitu zingine. Without experience, huwezi jua what it means to come up with maybe trying to provide a solution to a societal problem.
Yeah.
Because most of the problems we face in this country, whether it's the girl child or the boy child, are just systemic issues. And this is a discussion we were having with a friend of mine known as Rix. I don't know if you know Rix Poet. He's a mental health advocate.
I've heard the name, but I can't recall where.
He's an amazing guy, very vocal about his trauma, depression, and everything. And we had a talk with him, and we were saying how most of the problems we face are just systemic challenges that have erupted to become something else.
Yeah.
Na kwa hivyo unapata hata story ya sanitary towels.
So didn't I see like some ninis being repacked somewhere?
Yeah, that was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Expired sanitary towels being
that's
repacked.
That's the thing. Like
Like-
what kind of evil person do you have to be?
Like even in your mind, how do you sleep at night
Like-
knowing that?
Till they expire, you are just trying to
You have to be selfish to another level.
But
Okay.
that's
That's
the
it.
systematic need that you're talking about. It's just the systems that at
And-
times you're trying to do everything right, and you're just wondering like, why aren't things going the way
But you
I
know,
expect them to, even though I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to?
And to me, even like now, if that's the, let's say on that point, for example, I've had to build a company. No one in my family has built a company before. So you can imagine learning about
Everything
building.
is a fresh, like everything you're learning like for the first time. There are people who've been lucky enough, things are being
Yeah.
passed down to them.
And mimi niko hapo trying to build something from the ground up, and that has been the biggest, I think, transformation, my mental transformation, because initially unaweza kuwa unafanya kitu lakini kama unaifanya kama mchezo,
Yeah.
because yes, you're doing something but you've not put in the systems, and we talk about systemic challenges and the impact it has on the society. And so if you don't fix what you're trying to build, then you become like everyone else. And
We become part of the problem.
I know, and
Yeah.
we just keep having like the problem erupt to
Yeah.
another thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe to any young person out there who's trying to build something, don't take what you're doing for granted.
Yeah.
Ndio unaweza kuwa unaenjoy kufanya events, kufanya talks, kufanya anything it is. Lakini if you don't find a solution to what you're doing giving you money, your fuel will burn out and you will not be motivated
I was
enough.
talking about burnout. Remember my conversation? I was just like, why do you have to? Because that mind frame, you can easily get there, and you do not want to get there.
Oh my God. And it's so easy to get there.
Because you can give up on so much that you've already worked on.
Yeah.
And that's so scary, because what next? Now you have to start on something else, then again afresh.
But it's okay to start over.
Yeah.
It hurts.
But not necessarily if you can avoid.
Yeah.
Like the way you're saying, like find out solutions, find out ways to.
True. And for me, I'm grateful that I have mentors. I
Yeah.
have coaches. I have counselors, therapists, and everything. Manake,
Oh, you have them?
I have those people in my circle.
Because
that
otherwise you won't be
I
able to.
won't.
Yeah.
I
true.
want, because I juggle so many things, and sometimes in a fika place, everything is at a standstill.
Yeah.
Maybe huku umeibiwa na mfanyikazi.
Which is standard, by the way. Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
you're trying to build a company, but you feel like labda the way the event space is going, you're not liking it and you need to change, and you're alone.
Entrepreneurship is not easy.
It is not easy.
Yep.
Yes, we keep making it seem like it's
Hey.
cool, but no. And so imagine having to get to mentors, and my mentor telling me, okay, you wanna do this, let's break it down. This is how you start a company, blah, 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 all the way up. You know, to a point whereby you know you need to also have people on your team. Because
Yes.
the moment you take up everything, I think in a way, maneno yako yanakuwa slow.
Listen, see, we've talked about that like
But
before we even
yeah.
started the podcast. But that's the thing, because you might, like, even for me at times, I do think like I'm the best solution to all the problems, but I won't get where I want to be because I'm trying to do everything alone.
Ukweli.
And just look at anybody who's successful, anybody with a company or anything, you do need.
You do need a team.
Yeah. So if just somebody's not working, in their position the way they're supposed to, just replace them. Because that's how companies work.
And everyone is repressible in life.
Exactly.
Usiwahi kuwa too full of yourself in this dunia
No,
udhani
but
mimi.
I used to feel like bad, like, okay, now this person, like, it's not personal though.
Yeah,
if
it's
this
not.
person just doesn't feel like,
It's not.
no, there's somebody else out there who might be, you might just get the right person who'll be in that position.
True.
And everything will just skyrocket. Because there's some companies literally like the boss just counts his money.
True.
Because there are people in positions that he's put. This person will go and pitch. This person will go
Yeah.
and bring an
Yeah.
investor. This person is going to handle like accounts department.
But imagine if you
This
have
is-
limited resources. Let's say you don't have finances. So you have to remember to do social media posting and content creation for social media. So you have to remember, you also have emails to write. You have to remember to pitch. You have to remember to
It's tricky.
keep touch with your database.
It's tricky.
You're going to go crazy.
Burnout.
And I'm telling you, me for one thing I'm grateful for, and I know we haven't worked for a while. I think since last year we haven't had an event
Yeah.
because we had to take a break so that we can realign things.
Yeah. Picture like, okay, what's next? How do we approach things from here?
And I want to thank my mentors, the people close to me, close friends and family. I want to thank Brian and Lisa, who are people who work with me at Swazuri events. Those two human beings, I thought I was smart till I met them. And now sometimes they will pitch ideas to me on how we need to
You're
go
like,
forward. I'm like, okay, hata sikuwa nimefikiria hivyo.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, with the minimum resources that I have, they understand the vision.
You're also lucky to have like
And I'm
them
telling
like on
you,
your side, because you know
Because remember tulikuwa tunaongea kuhusu if someone doesn't get your vision,
it's tricky. It's tricky.
it's tricky.
You might try and explain, but somebody's like,
And you might want to keep retaining people, but at the end of the day, at what expense?
yeah, it costs you a lot.
It costs you a lot,
Sanity,
yeah.
money, time, everything.
And so at the end of the day, Pia, it's nice to do social impact work, wanting to change lives. But also another thing to remember, Nekuwa, you can't change everyone. Let's say I put up an event and 60 people come. Even if 2-3 people give me feedback that I came to this event and it changed my life, that is more than trying to get all those 60 people on your side.
True.
Manake at the end of the day, if ukitaka kushinda una impress everyone, then you lose direction. Manake you just want to be likable or something.
And you won't even focus on the people
Yeah.
who like actually are giving
Yeah.
you the attention that you
Yeah,
want.
that's why I keep saying, and I keep telling people who want to do events, manake at some point it feels like sahi watu wengi wako kwa the event space. If 5 people show up at your event, please give them the best.
You have to give them free drinks first of all. It's fine. They're like, hey, welcoming drinks. You're getting this, and this. You have to give them some just to show appreciation, like at least.
Like, give them the best that you can. Manake ndio sometimes we want to see the people who tell me, we're trying to put up an event, nini, we want 200 people to come. We've been trying, but ni kama hiyo room haijai. Me, I'm like, okay, how many people show up? Must only 60, I don't know, only 80 came. And then, how did you make sure the 80 remember to come and tag along another person so that it becomes 160?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you keep focusing on the empty seats, utalose our.
You lose the people who need your attention.
And there's nothing hard kama kutafuta clients.
Hey.
Do you know we are in a digital space whereby ndio everything we're trying to do we're trying to advocate for inaweza patikana online, but you have to have a different touch to it. To make people
what makes you stand out?
Yeah, to make people want to sacrifice the traffic, the time, the cold, the rain to show up.
Yeah.
To show up. And showing up is just another topic of its own. You get? And so even to any young person out there trying to build a business, a company, sell products, sell services, even if at the moment you have 2-3 clients, make sure you serve them like with the uttermost best capacity you can.
Yeah.
And through them, they will refer you to someone else. It might take a while, lakini maybe we also need to learn the value of patience.
True.
This has been I'm starting my 4th year, I think, since I registered my company, or 3rd year, I think. And initially, nikianza, there's a way I had pictured what I'm doing being grand, in a way that I tell my dad nipe tu miaka mbele. we Nairobi ni ready. Then
you live and learn.
You
learn.
You get to realize hiyo mbio yote haiko practical on the ground.
Pole, baby steps.
And maybe
we'll
even
get there.
One key thing I've learned from the guests I've had on, at my Girl Power event is I make sure I invite intentional women. Women who are authentic. Women who can verify their journey.
Because now people can be so misled.
And you can do whatever you want, but for me and the platform I'm giving to my guests, I want to make sure it's an honest and authentic platform. So I get to make sure that with whatever it is you're doing, ni ukweli. Now when you talk to girls who maybe follow you on social media and they see what you do and they admire you, they also get to learn that haukuamka na kufika hapo.
Yeah.
It has been years of hard work, sweat, tears and everything. Maybe businesses falling and starting afresh. And one thing I've learned, I've come across ni kuwa most of these personalities we enjoy reading their posts and everything, they're now they're now blowing up in their, I'd say 8th year, 7th, 9th. Consistency. No matter what you do in the middle, yes, even if you have to go back to a job because maybe you need to survive, they still remember the vision they have for themselves, the destination.
They still chase the one thing that they started initially.
So at the end of it all, that consistent showing up, sacrificing trips, sacrificing time, sacrificing sleep, knowing that one day it's going to pay off. Na wakijua kuwa it might not be now, and now I have to eat, maybe sustain a family, tumeanza family, but we have to keep at it. So even if we post on social media the good side, it's just social media.
Yeah, but just know what you're supposed to handle peer after that social media post.
Because tumefika place, it's on another level. People are like feeling stressed and depressed about going to Greece.
It's not easy.
Paris.
Especially, say, Generation Z. You see the pressure that they have, like, just on social media. And they can't even, like, their mind doesn't even register, like, this is just, like, this is not real life. They register it as real life. They don't understand if somebody has posted it. It's just a selective moment that somebody has
this a still moment, maybe.
Even staged. Because at times, most of the time, it's people
content.
like, okay, let me smile. Okay, let me take they've
That's what
properly manufactured that moment. So,
Have you watched Public Figure by Bonang?
No.
To anyone watching, please go watch that movie, Public Figure. She's the director, producer, but she also features in it. It's very interesting of how social media and the effect it has on our minds, and they interview leading global influencers. Bonang, mwingine wa UK.
And Bonang is so huge for people who don't understand. Because she's doing interviews in New York,
Mimi,
in
I'm
Paris.
A fan. Mimi, I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with Bonang.
She's one person who you can definitely say, like, if it's a social media, she knows what she's doing.
But you know why? I feel like being obsessed with Bonang is okay because, first of all, she's African, meaning she's relatable. She comes from South Africa. She comes from South Africa, whereby they face so many challenges, but above it all, she has risen. Nona. And then she's a woman who's defying the odds of, like, even being a mogul in, like, the
media and moving internationally. Because you can just be.
Have you watched Bing Bonang?
Yeah.
The team she works with and how she's serious with her team.
Yeah.
Because for you to even move international, like, those are lanes. You
It's
have to make sure the team around you lanes.
You see, Monna, I saw her on, was she on Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
And she was also on, like,
with Charlamagne the God.
Yeah. You can imagine just from South Africa, and you are a social media. Those things just don't happen, like, from. No, they just don't happen, like, if you don't know what you're doing.
It takes a lot of preparation.
A lot. But
and
the most important part, how she presents herself in that platform.
Oh, yeah.
I heard her speaking and I was like, okay, I think we have somebody who actually knows what they're doing on the social platform. representing
She
also
uses
Africa
it,
in a very
positive way.
nice, positive way. Yeah.
Bonang is huge. Bonang is huge, and at the moment I feel like very many young ladies relate to her because she's just an ordinary girl
She is.
who just decided to pursue something that felt like vile alipata chance ya kuanza media na akadecide kuitumia for the
I
positive.
even like how she just mixes South African and English when she's talking, like she's really.
But have you noticed
she
South
makes you
Africans
sure
are so obsessed with their language?
they are.
Like those people
No,
can't.
but like I'm just saying, like that makes you feel like, you know, even for you, like for our Kenyan people who like come with like, you know, a British accent today, tomorrow American accent.
That is
tomorrow,
the one thing I love about South Africans.
They
They
really-
embrace.
Yeah, I just saw her speaking and I was like,
Hiyo
man.
kizungu haiwezi flow, kizungu
And-
pekee. Lazima
Yeah,
towards
and
you
even
come
like
in.
in Charlemagne kept on asking like, what does that mean? She explains it and then she's laughing at them, and I'm like, that's so powerful because not everybody can do that.
Not everyone.
People fly out to New York one weekend, they come back, they're Americans. They don't even know how to nini. They're like, no, they can't pronounce words the way.
But she's
Kenyans
been very
do.
authentic. She's been very authentic.
And that's why she's going as far as she
And
is.
maybe that's what makes her relatable. So even drawing it back to where we are as a country, there are people who are relatable and are positive influencers
Yeah.
that, honestly speaking, when you look at what they're doing, you'd be like, this person is actually impacting
People
my...
like who? You can say names if you want.
No, let
They're
me...
doing something nice, so you can praise them. Oh, if they're doing something that's so good that you can't even praise them, hey, they're still not doing it well enough.
No. Let me not name drop. But of course, I have people I look up to personally. But for me, I'd like to say, for me personally, I admire Julie Gishuru.
Yeah.
Like, I love that she carries herself so well, so modest, so eloquent, and she's very firm. She knows her ground. Because I remember one day there was a recording of ile show yake ya debates. Sijui ilikuwa inaitwa aje, The Great Debaters something. Are you zooming?
I'm trying to see. How many minutes is it saying there at the top left?
18.
18. Okay, so we probably have like 12 or 13 minutes to go.
I think 18 or 1.
What? It can't be 1. What do you mean?
18.
I think it's 18, yeah. So I think we have, to be safe, we have like 10 minutes to go.
And so there's a guy who put out a hypothetical question like, oh, most young people don't get their money legit. We all know they sell drugs, blah, blah, blah. And you know that was a national show, like being aired on TV. And she asked the guy, please stand back up. Because like the guy sat and she was like, we appreciate what you've said, but also state with the facts.
Yeah.
So where
don't
did you
blabber,
get?
Don't just blabber things and then you sit
So
down.
where are the facts? That is what most people do. Manake, not to dismiss what you're saying, but when you are posing out such
You can't
statements,
just throw
you just can't-
statements, because now you're generalizing even the hard-working people as well.
Yeah. And she was like, please just give us the facts. And the guy ended up standing for like 15 minutes with nothing to say.
And you've been given like the platform,
that's
like,
the platform.
okay, Sawa, tell us.
You get?
Tell us.
So I got to see that for her, it's important when you speak. That's the one thing I take away. Speak with facts. I must speak from a point of knowledge or information such that you're even confident.
Do your homework.
Do your homework. Don't just
throw
talk.
things, and then when you're given a platform, you're like, so
Unaanza
now
kustama.
we've been hearing from who?
Exactly.
From who?
That's what she was saying. Where have you read?
Yeah, where?
Sema, so that we can continue to pick up the conversation.
Yeah,
You get?
yeah.
And that is the key thing I learned from her. Like when you talk, when you have a chance to speak, ongea from a place of facts to prove your argument, or else utabebwa kimalenge.
Yeah, because now you look like a damn fool on national TV, and people are like, come on, bro.
They have to cut you out.
Yeah, and there's some people somewhere who are respecting you.
Yeah.
Because you used to throw those statements like
Yeah.
that. Now you go back at them, they're like, hey, bro, where, sasa?
And you're like,
What did you do
why
on
did I
national-"
even stand?
Yeah, why?
Anyway, maybe.
So now we're almost running out of time. I don't want the recorder to cut us off, but you know this can go on and on.
I
And you
know,
remember
I'm
the way you were
surprised.
asking me, like, so what will we talk about? You see how fast time
I'm
flies.
surprised vile nimeongea sana. Am I a chatterbox?
No, listen. It's a podcast. It's a Kiss Capades podcast. Now do you understand why I do it and wake up in the morning?
Are you the most kissed human being?
I have the world record for the most kisses.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Ladies. What wanna try to break records here? Please support.
Support. So now there's one thing we haven't touched on love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at you like freezing. Okay, I'll just give you what are your thoughts on like just dating right now and just being like an independent woman? Is it hard to find somebody who looks at you, or do you feel like people will just be like, she's too ambitious, she's too bossy maybe or something? She has her dreams are just too.
Hata kama mtu atafeel uko too ambitious, that is you.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, dating is good. Dating is nice.
Are you
it's
looking
fun.
for someone right now?
No, I already
Are you in a
have
situation?
someone.
Oh, you have someone?
No. I already have someone.
Oh, sawa.
And dating
you don't want another one?
No, niko tu sawa.
Sorry, I know. Niko tu sawa.
Because I know he will watch this. So
Yeah.
Niko tu sawa.
Better be like, you said what? Yeah.
No. We owning up. Yeah, we have people. Like I have someone very special to me, and I'm grateful.
That's
so
nice.
Dating is nice, but I feel like in this day and age, be very intentional about it. If you can pray about it before you get into it, the better. I'm a pretty spiritual person, and I don't take things like dating like kama jokes, because I've seen people be in situations whereby they are too toxic and they should be stepping out, but
they're still together.
They're still together. But for me, what I say is, huwezi elewa till in that situation. Now, it's very easy for us to bash people who are in those situations. Till ujipate in it, then you get to realize, no matter what people tell you, your parents, your sisters, anyone, till the day as an individual useme, enough is enough, it's time for me to step out, hautatoka.
Yeah.
Unaona? And so dating is good, dating is fun, but are you dating with clear intentions? Also, value-wise, what are your values? What type of person are you looking for? Have your negotiables, non-negotiables in terms of, this is the much I can take.
True.
And this is what I can tolerate. Manake at the end of the day, hii maisha ni moja. Na hii maisha ni yako. Yeah. Yes, you might have a person, but you have your own life, na yeye ako na maisha yake. And the two of you come together to create another one. But don't lose yourself just because you're dating. But it takes a lot of wisdom when it comes to doing such things. Manake, love is just on another level.
And as an entrepreneur, everything can go into shambles if your mind state is not okay. So you know that.
Acha tu. Okay,
sir. Now we really have to wind up. I'll just ask you one more question, because we can always do a part 2 of this. And I've been telling all my guests, I'm just trying to keep it an hour. I want people to absorb what we've said, and also for you to be eager to come for a part 2.
I really want to come for a part 2.
Yeah, we haven't talked about wine, we haven't talked about all those things, but that's what we can get into part 2. We can do so many, but that's the best thing about the podcast. We can always keep on doing it. There's no limits to this.
For sure.
Plus, I'm in control of this content. There's no producer saying, tunataka mtu mwingine.
Time out. Uyo amesha expire.
So now, I always ask people this question. What's the one thing that you think you're trying to chase right now, pursue, that if you got it, it will give your life better direction, meaning, fulfillment, or some kind of
financial
happiness?
Freedom.
We'll get
financial
there.
Freedom.
Speak it to existence.
It's already there.
Already manifesting
Kabisa.
it.
So it's just about it taking shape. But honestly speaking, I feel like ndio watu wanapenda kusema sijui pesa, sijui ni shetani, sijui nini. But let me tell you, money gives you power.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you determine how you want it to control you. So it might give you power to do good, ama give you power to do bad. So wewe mwenyewe vile utaamua kuitumia, hiyo ni yako.
True.
But it will give you power in a way that, yani ukilala ukiamka, maybe you don't have to worry about your rent. You don't have to worry about buying a car or buying equipment. You don't have to worry about, am I going to...
Stop saying all those things that I want.
To Masai Mara, or am I going to the coast, or am I going to Greece?
True.
You know, and as much as it's not everything, for me, I already have my peace of mind.
Yeah.
But the greatest of all is peace of mind. If you don't have peace of mind, even with money, hakuna kitu utakuwa na.
Yeah.
So for me, now that I already have my peace of mind, I'd like to be in a place where I'm financially free. So I have to make better money choices and all that. And I'm very critical about learning about money.
Yeah.
I don't become a slave to debt with these modern apps that you can borrow and borrow and borrow.
Yeah.
You get, like, I want to be able to be in my lane, but knowing that I want to get somewhere. So I have to work. So how do I work to get to where I want to?
I respect that. I respect that. And now we have to wind up for sure.
But we need to have a
Now,
part 2.
We'll do part 2.
And part 3.
What did you think of the podcast, first of all?
Oh my God, it was so easy. It's like we're just chatting.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
that's the
just
point.
catching
Exactly.
up. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't need to send you questions or anything.
I was a bit anxious.
That's
I haven't
how
been on a podcast before.
You asked me so many questions. I have so many things to ask. I was like, relax. You got this covered, eh?
Yeah.
But most importantly, don't forget the amazing host who makes it so smooth.
Kisscapades. He needs more kisses, guys. When do we have guys lining up?
We're doing that soon. What
Guys,
are we focus on prioritizing the podcast to grow, and then we'll do that as well. So now tell the people where they can find you on social media and all those other platforms. Or
So-
if you have anything else going on, please plug it.
At the moment, just follow my company's name on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Swazuri Events. And for me, as an individual, I use Monna Moraa on all my platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on my wine blog, www.monnascapes, Monna with a double N, scapes.wordpress.com. But I also have an exciting thing happening, so you can follow 2 Wine Girls KE on Instagram. Something good, something entertaining, something fun, something creative coming up about wine, something different no one is doing yet.
Stay tuned. Make sure you follow her for that.
And also make sure you follow Kisscapades. Watch out the episodes.
Yeah.
I should watch more of your episodes.
No,
Not
trust me.
selective.
You'll finish your bundles and you'll finish a lot of your time. You need a lot of time,
We
first
need
of
to
all.
promote the airtime companies.
But the content is there. It's there to stay. And there's so much more dropping in 2020. So stay
Thank
tuned.
you so much for
But
having me.
thank you for coming through.
Yeah.
Wish you nothing but the best in that beautiful journey.
You too.
Thank you. And
Thank
we
you.
have some
We have
stuff to work on something,
yeah,
right?
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to.
So let's do that.
Bye,
And
guys.
for viewers, listeners, you know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on our YouTube. We are on also Castbox, Apple Podcast, where else? Instagram, Facebook, all those social platforms, and we do daily updates. So make sure you subscribe or like or share. That's the only way you can show support for now.
Yeah.
For now, that's all we want. That's all we want.
That's some pretty
Share,
dope
like,
music.
subscribe. Junior Nyongo made this for me.
Hello there.
Yeah,
It's pretty dope. Can you
Yeah.
send me?
I can.
Yeah, I'd like to listen it like when watching the
This
sunset.
is a saxophone and everything. So shout outs to
romantic.
Junior. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So guys, till next time, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's the Kisscapades podcast.
Bye.
Goodbye.